Hello everybody. I hope all of you are having a good day today. It's sorry I'm scratching. The mosquitoes are horrible today. They're always bad in the Philippines, but today they're extra bad. It's Friday afternoon here in the Philippines, and I am waiting on the guy with the dump truck to bring in some more dirt. We're having I don't know if you can see it here or not, but I'll make some video for it later. But you can see all the red dirt out there. That's we're having more dirt hauled in so we can level that ground out so we don't have to build such a high retaining wall. And once we get it all leveled out there, we can start going up with our columns for our community center and industrial kitchen and all that. It's going to be awesome eventually. In due time, Lord willing, it'll all get done. I was sitting out here today, and I was remembering the verse in Jude where it's written about Michael and Satan quarreling over the body of Moses. All right, and whenever you look at that in context and in the Greek, it's, a lot of people think, well, Michael, the archangel Michael, was fighting with Satan because Satan was trying to steal the dead, decomposing body of Moses so he could use his DNA later, and he's going to make clones and stuff or something, A lot of people think like that. It's very carnal thinking. But actually, it was Michael, the archangel, and Michael means who is like God. It's like a question. Who is like God? Basically saying, who's like God? Ain't nobody like God, But he's wrestling with the accuser over the body of Moses. And you have to look at the body of Moses as like a people's. Just like Israel is a body of people. Then there's the body of Christ. It's a body of people. Just like I believe Lucifer was a body of people and not just one individual. But Michael is wrestling with the accuser. That's what the Satan means, is an accuser over the body of Moses. And the accuser has always been the letter, the law, okay? Because the law was always there accusing you. Nobody's good enough to keep the law. So basically, Michael is fighting with the mindset of the body of Moses, the people who follow Moses and no longer God, okay? And they're relying on their own righteousness, their works, to justify them before God. That's why Michael's name means who is like God, all right? Because in a way, they were saying, look at us, look at us, look at what we do with our hands. All right, they were very puffed up and proud of their works. Remember, pride comes before the fall, all right? And they had great pride in their works of their hands. And you can go back to where, I believe in Numbers, whenever they were battling, I think the Amalekites or Amorites or something like that. And what they did was they put Moses on a hill and they brought a rock for Moses to sit on. And as long as Moses' arm was held up, the Israelites would win. But if his arm got tired and started falling down, they would start losing. So they got a rock for him to sit on, and they held up his arm, all right? And as long as they held up his arm, the Israelites won the battle, okay? But it required their works, them, to hold up the arm of Moses, all right? Moses, in order for the law of Moses to have any power, it required the work of the people. I hope you see that. But as always, they got him a rock to sit on. And that rock was probably the same rock that Jacob laid his head on when he had his dream of the stairway to heaven. If you'll remember, the people were thirsty. They wanted water. And they were quarreling to Moses, we need water. And God told Moses, he said, go before the people, get them out there and speak to the rock, and I will give you water. And Moses went out there and struck the rock. God gave them water anyway, but because of that, Moses struck the rock. He was not allowed to enter into the kingdom, all right? The promised land. And I've always said the works of your hands, religion, will not get you into the promised land, all right? So he was denied that. But Michael, the one whose name is Who is Like God, is wrestling with those people. Sorry, another Lamok mosquito. To rescue those people from the accuser, those who believed in it. You remember when they were getting ready to crucify Jesus and the Pharisee struck Jesus. He struck the rock because he was of the law. Same thing happened with Moses. He struck the rock and the rock gave them water. Jesus gave them water anyway. Same as Jesus did when the Pharisee struck him. Jesus still gave them water because the kingdom was still open for them. All right, he died for them. But the deal is for them to inherit it, they had to have faith in the rock and not their works, not their hands. All right, and let the rock supply their waters. You remember when David went to fight Goliath, all right, and he couldn't put on Saul's armor. It was too big for him. He couldn't wear it, all right? And so he went there without armor, and he picks up 5 smooth stones, all right? Those 5 smooth stones represent the Torah. But he only needed 1 rock to defeat Goliath, all right? You notice the pattern with the rocks, all right? The rock is always Jesus. And what the rock represents is even though the law was based on Christ, all right? But the people got it all twisted, all right? And started relying on their works. They couldn't see the deep wisdom within the Torah to understand that it wasn't about the works. It was about Christ's works within, all right? So the rock is always there, but it became a stumbling block for the Pharisees, for the scribes and the Pharisees, the ones that couldn't see. Everybody always talks about, you got to test the spirits, and how you test the spirit if a man that's preaching is of God. And that's whether or not he confesses it with his mouth that Jesus is Lord and that he came in the flesh, all right? But it's also written in Jude that men have crept in unawares and have changed the grace of God into lasciviousness, which is like a sexual act, okay? It's like adultery, all right? And have denied Christ. You see, anybody can get up and they can, confess with their mouth that Jesus is Lord, and look, I believe they came in the flesh, and a lot of them may even throw in some ha-sha-ta-ta-pa-pa-pa-pa stuff to show you they're really anointed. I say anointed because it's like the pigs, don't cast your pearls among swines, but wink, wink, nod, nod. But anyway, they'll even throw in speaking in tongues like, look at me, I am from God. But then they start talking to you, they start committing adultery, sleeping with a prostitute, having acts of lasciviousness whenever they start combining the works of the law with grace. All right? They're sitting on the rock. They're claiming that the rock is their power, but it requires you to hold up their arm to win. I love you all. God bless.